machine came into picture to break the World War II. The Europe has witnessed just 75 years ago two big world wars, World War I and World War II. And then it was the ENIAC machines, which was breaking the codes. And Alan Turing became father of computer science. And later on, the internet revolution came for the purpose of the defense DARPA project. Okay. And then the automation, which I started working on. And I used to say, my name is at Infosys, my name is Manuel, but my job is automation. Whenever I go, I see that the manual things will go. But at the later on, I moved to Sweden and then started working and working. And later I realized that I need to do something where it should be human-centric and people. But today, from last several years, I was an engineer basically, but today I work in the head office corporate legal department. So I'm responsible for all the digital laws because in Europe, the laws are very strict. There is a AI law that we call it as European Union Artificial Intelligence Act, which was passed in the European Parliament in Brussels, okay, with the full majority of the votes, so that how to use the responsible AI. It is not that the laws are there to stop the innovation, to stop the progress, but it is about when you have an AI product, like, when you build a product, car as a product, our job is to check the safety. Do you have seatbelt? Because I lost my brother last year, who is also a very good friend of your head of the department and vice principal, Dr. Ramesh Babu sir. So he was not wearing the seatbelt. Who invented seatbelt? A Swedish engineer. I visited his tomb near a city called Linköping in Sweden, where it was written that when his invention is still valid, they have not even changed it. The two-pin seat belts. When you fasten the seat belts, you should remember him. You remember his kindness because he was human-centric. When he invented this seat belt, the Volvo wanted to patent that, but he went to the CEO and said, please don't patent this. This is all about the human values, the human life. Because of him today, millions and millions of human lives are saved, and humans were less injured than a major injuries. So they did not patent it so that every car companies like Ford, General Motors today, Hyundai, Tata, whoever they are, everywhere the seat belts are there because they made it patent free so that the Volvo, they can give it. So he was such an influential person. When I was standing in front of his tomb, they have written it. And also in the Sweden in 2017, I had an opportunity to speak at a Nobel Prize event because Sweden is the country which gives Nobel Prize every year on 10th of December on the death anniversary of the scientist Alfred Nobel. And the Nobel Museum, all the inventions, how the industry has evolutionized. So you can see all the inventions on the first product, the Marconi, when he invented radio, he got the Nobel Prize, and it was there, and it is there even today in the Nobel Prize Museum. You can clearly go and see and witness that. And also, like, see the original will of Alfred Nobel, where he has written that the prize money, he was the richest person when he died on earth at the time, and he gave the money to the Swedish Academy, telling that this money should be used to the people who does the greatest innovation and invention for the humankind. Okay, but what is happening right now? Are we forgetting human-centric? So we are doing inventions and innovations. Are we forgetting the sustainability things? So that is what we really need to think in today's direction. I go one by one because today's my job is I am paid by my company, but the fun is I do not work for my company. I work for the humans because my department, the data protection and also the artificial intelligence, AI and data protection department is like a constitutional office because it is the one which protects the fundamental rights of the human being. And we are responsible for each and every digital laws which is coming out from the parliament to enforce it, not to the standards, but to the laws. So, and it's very important to see that whenever I go, engineers think that I am slowing innovation. So the lawyers think that I am very, very technical. But when I go to the management to present it, so they think that I am giving them a lot of worries. And they said, oh, we are breaking this law, we are breaking that law. We are not compliant. We are not compliant here. We are having high risks here. We are having, so because how do we do the business in that case? They always ask this question. So it's very important that how important to keep this innovations, the industry 5.0, where the humans at the center is very important. We always need to think about this. So we always think it's not like, can we automate? That's an engineering question. We always need to say, should we automate this? Because that has a consequence which should have ethical, legal, and it should be a social question. So we always need to think about the Industry 5.0, which says that it should be human-centric design, sustainability, and resilience. Because we need to, it's not that we build first, then we ask, is it human-centric? Is it sustainable? Is it resilience? No, not after building it. Should be in the design phase itself. So we always need to say that we need to slow down, no problem. It's not like a faster approach. We can slow, take a step back, but think that whether it is human-centric, can it be sustainable, or is it resilient? So it's very important, like in the AI governance, what we see every day, my job, as the madam introduced, AI and privacy specialist, okay? Governance, we do. Innovations, you do. The engineers, you do. Because we have one tool where I am also the product owner of the system and the tool for the entire Scania group, where we have this entire inventory, okay, entire database. So if you ask any, now, it's like a super cool thing, AI powered. Every system is becoming AI powered. Every company, they are telling AI powered. So can we have an AI inventory where all the systems which are using AI are AI systems, AI models, AI data sets, AI projects? Can we show that? Okay, can we have that? Can we do this governance at one side when the management or leadership team asks, where is it? Can we see this? And also now it's a regulation. Regulation means it's a law. We need to keep this inventory. So at one place, when a regulator knocks the door, or when an auditor from the government side, when they knock the door, when they ask, because there are authorities which oversees things, and we need to be in a position to show the evidence, show the proofs that we are using the responsible AI. So we need to think about whether they are undisclosed. Is there any undisclosed AI? Or are we over trusting the AI output? Humans are not at all checking. Because if the AI does everything, whom do you make accountable? Whom do you make liable? So organizations should ask the right questions. So before we deploy AI. So it is not like, the students, you are super happy that the chat GPT can do all your assignments and everything. So it is not that. So now the burden is too much for the professors, really, because it's not that how the AI writes. The danger is not that the AI is writing. The danger is that, so whether the professor has stopped reading what you have written. And the students also become so smart that, for example, a dull student who is only a just past 40% or a 35% guy, he started writing a beautiful paper or a very nice assignment. So then the professor will get a real doubt. How come this guy from last 1 year, I can see him, he is not so studious and so smart, but suddenly he's started writing something very nice one. So now the students also become over smart. Even they can get 35% or 40%, then they give a prompt saying that, see, I am a just pass student. Can you write the assignment as if it's me, like a just pass, not that a brilliant 100% guy or a 90% guy, and it will write for you. So AI misuse is always discovered later. So in the education, sometimes, okay, so the professor may not identify that, and your thesis gets passed, and also your assignments gets passed through the educational and academic process. But what about if you do the same thing at the workplace? Okay, because you are paid for doing your work. Okay, it's a high stake content. It may be a policy, it may be a law, it may be a finance, or it may be an education. So you need to disclose whether it is AI is used or not. You need to give the proper citations, proper date, proper acknowledgements, and proper facts, because AI can hallucinate. AI can fabricate. AI can fake the things. AI can create references which are not existing at all. Okay, so if you say that I need to write this positively, it thinks that how it always try to please you in everything. So later on, if someone actually checks it, you are really in a big problem because you are paid to do the work. The greatest example is just in the month of July, few months ago in 2025, the Deloitte Australia. Okay, everybody knows this case, and it became, it's not like a ding dong company. It's Deloitte. Okay, it's like one of the top most consulting company. What happened? See, the Australian Department of Employment and Welfare Relations, they have given a consulting project for Deloitte Australia. What is their job? They need to review a welfare compliance framework because in Sweden, like in Europe and also in Australia, the social security are extremely high. For example, even if my employer Scania wants to kick me out or lay me off, it's not easy because what happened recently? It was in a big newspaper. Scania in the history they have done a biggest layoff. 750 people were laid off. But there are many people who are asking, I want to get laid off because Kanye was giving you like 2 years of full salary. And after that, the government will also pay you the unemployment pension, which is 80% of your salary because you are almost protected for 4 years. Okay. So that's how the welfare scheme, many of them will misuse it because if you're not on the job, you will get the unemployment pensions and other things. So because most of the things are automated, so that misuse and everything they need to identify. That project was given to Deloitte to identify. So see that if there are any automated decisions, because they are taking the decision. So this guy is welfare decisions, and particularly the welfare decision depends upon, for example, if the person who was laid off, who became unemployed, if he has children who is less than 18 years old, he gets more money. Okay. Or it is like he gets additional 6 months of extra money. And if he cannot pay, if there are 4 children, 5 children, okay, if he cannot pay the rent, then the government will pay the rent for them. So all these things are major automated. And if they want to review this, whether it is proper or not, and then it's a very big project. It's a very highly expensive project. They gave a very good money for almost like a 500,000 Australian dollars. And what Deloitte did, okay, they took the project, they took the money, and they used ChatGPT 4.0 to draft the report. And the ChatGPT report was submitted to the government, okay, by taking the money. And later on, what happened? The government published this report because this is a government report and it's all public. Everywhere they need to make this public. And later, after several days or several weeks, a professor at the University of Sydney, his name is, I think, Dr. Chris, I forgot his last name. So he started reading this. Then he thought that, oh, what is this? They are giving some references from the books. The books do not exist. And it's strange. So the references don't exist at all. They are making citations to some links, citations to some judgments, and those citations never exist at all because these are all like imaginary. They are giving citations to the top journal papers. Those papers were never published. They are giving citations to the court judgment. That quotes from the court were never said by any judges at all. Then the professor did not keep quiet. He went to the social media and he said how the Deloitte has cheated the government. And immediately, so they were in damage control mode. And then, so Deloitte has to pay the money back, and then politician and it's a big discussions and everything. So it started happening. So that is how you, as a student or anything, if you start using, professors may you can skip the eyes of the professors sometimes. But when you are at the industry, okay, you will be caught and it will be a very big problem. Everyone started asking the questions of the credibility of the Deloitte itself. Okay, how come? Because someone will write. It has a strict internal quality checks. It should be checked by the first reviewer, second reviewer, third reviewer, like that. How come it went unnoticed for all these stages? So the biggest problem here is the poor intake decisions. Weak human sites because there was no human in the loop. So no clear accountability, whom to make accountable in this case. And there was no clear review responsibility. So can the Deloitte say, sorry, this was the answer given by ChatGPT? Then the government says, why should I pay you 500,000 Australian dollars? If it is ChatGPT, I myself can write it, or a cleaner can do the job for me instead of you giving it to such a big establishment. So the AI will hallucinate, hallucinates many of these things. So this is not only the case. There are many of these things. So one more thing was like in a New York court, a lawyer uses ChatGPT, and then said that he needs to win the case, and it got the AI has hallucinated, provided the reference and everything. But the good thing is the judge checked all the references, all the judgments. Then he sanctioned the lawyer. Okay, because there was no judgment in place, the real judgment. There was no court decisions made by the higher courts, and there was no like any of the citations or any of the proceedings from anywhere else. So they put sanctions, and sometimes they also warned that they can cancel the license to practice as a lawyer itself. So it's very important, and there are many cases like this has happened in the world where the AI misuse was understood later on. For example, there's a topmost media, and also like a CNET, which is used the AI generated content peacefully and quietly to write the finance articles. But later, the articles were having lots of factual errors, lots of plagiarism issues, because the AI is trained on many of the copyrighted contents, and it will give that as an output, and you get caught in the plagiarism issues, copyright notices, trademark issues, and everything. So it's and without any clear disclosure. So it is not that then the Europe is the first country, the first union. So European Union is a conglomerate of almost 30 countries. And during our last week Republic Day, the president of the European Union, Ursula, was also part of as the chief guest was there, and also Antonio. So they passed the EU Act. It does not say that don't use AI. It says that the AI affects the human significantly, but we must act responsibly. So you cannot use just like an AI however you want. For example, particularly if the AI is violating the fundamental rights, we are humans, we are not animals. We have fundamental rights. Every individual who is a living human body, we have fundamental rights. We have our privacy. So we cannot be, that's what they have provided certain rights, and they can execute the fundamental rights, and every organization should respect the fundamental rights of the individuals. For example, who are the people associated with my organization? Every organization have a website, and they will have a web page to provide to execute and exercise the fundamental rights of the people. And when they exercise that, it comes to me in our organization, so that I need to see that their fundamental rights are serviced within the due course of time. For example, if you can if the AI is used like in the resume shortlisting, so you apply, and there is the AI algorithm which makes a decision that you do not fit for the job. Are you okay with that? Because the AI algorithm sometimes, for example, if the AI algorithm is trained, or AI model is trained with a data set, think that 100, 80 resumes are men and 20 is women, and the AI model always thinks that men is better. Means it's a bias. And sometimes the criminal, for example, at the border control, so you are seeing this in the US, what is happening with the Trump administration right now. Okay, or how many difficulties people are facing right now. Okay, most of the time, so the border control and the immigration police, they never use their brain. They use the algorithms. They scan the image of the person, and if the ethnicity, if he's Indian, African, Asian, or something, and because most of the times, if the data set is used with most of the like different ethnicity, one major ethnicity criminal records, okay, then it always thinks that this particular ethnicity may commit crime or may have committed crime. There is a may possibility of risk of committing crime. like that. So we cannot use AI in the social scoring of the individuals or exploiting the vulnerable people. I just read the newspaper. All of you know that, like three kids in Noida, if I'm not wrong, please correct me, they committed suicide because of addiction to the games. The games are AI enabled right now. They make the kids, and because these vulnerable people, who are the vulnerable people? The senior citizens, the kids. You can see the Epstein file. Why it's a big news, Epstein file? Why the biggest leaders like Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, everyone are in the names? Because the kids were misused. They belong to the vulnerable people. Whenever if you are using AI in the case of vulnerable people, the responsible AI becomes very strict because we need to take care of those people. We cannot exploit the vulnerable people. And also like emotion recognitions, like in the workplaces, okay, how to, because humans, we are humans, right? We are not AI. We have emotions. So recognizing this emotion recognizing system or like a facial recognition databases, predicting the crime of the risk or like a credit risk and all those things are making a judgment automatically based on the like a bank loan judgment based on the AI algorithms. Those are all, became like a prohibited risks. Means you cannot use AI in such systems. They made it. So where it is allowed, if there is high risk, immediately they give some deadline to mitigate those risks. So for example, admissions and gathering in the education system. So recruitment and promotions if you use AI, or credit scoring, or for example, the judicial system. So one lawyer will makes his argument, another lawyer will make an opposition argument. Let the AI algorithm decide. And election influence. You can see if you are a right wing, if you like the right wing content, the social media will give you the right wing contents itself. And they know that, and also profiling. If you, for example, if you are left wing, and if you are in between, you don't know whether you need to go to the left wing or a right wing. Then, if you want to be targeted, the AI can target you to make you to the left wing or to the right wing based on the content what you want to see. So this is how called election influences, because our democracies are becoming vulnerable. So because our core constitutional foundation is the democracy. So it's very important, like every day, my job is we do the assessments, AI intake assessments. So all the AI, whether it may be a AI system, which is already operational, whether it may be a AI project, which is just in the initiation phase, or whether it's an AI model, because you use Databricks, Google Vertex, or Azure ML machine learning to build these AI models. So we have integrated our systems with this Databricks, Azure ML, or like Google Vertex, where as soon as you have your own AI model, okay, it captures all the data into our system. And to do the assessment, whether this model is getting trained on the right set of the database, right set of the data sets, so which is not biased, which is not having the real human data, which is having only the synthetic data, and it should be a proper one. So that's what we do. And also the what kind of AI data sets you're using to train the model, because the data sets will decide. So whether it may be a biased output or it is an unbiased output. So all these things, we do this. So when we build the system, when we buy the system, for example, it's already prepared by a third-party vendor or using a model like GPT-4 or GPT-5 or models provided by OpenAI, provided by Microsoft, Google, or Elon Musk's Grok AI, or like Perplexity, or like, couple of days back, even today morning, I saw that IT stocks are totally tumbled and crashing like 52-week low just because of the Anthropic, okay? And also it's the legal firm. So people are really, really, really overreacting to this. So when they do this, they do because gradually it is in first Europe, the almost 30 countries have adopted this law. But gradually I can see that Brazil, I have a meeting, we are doing some evaluations on the Brazilian, like the AI law, which is upcoming. And also the many countries are thinking about these things. So what is the purpose? We always need to say, when we use this, we always need to say, why are we using this AI? So what decisions are supporting? What happens if it is wrong? So these are all the questions we ask them. And who is impacted? We call them as data subjects. So data subjects means the people who, the humans, the human individuals who are associated with our company. Like, for example, like maybe employees, former employees, or like students who are doing internships, or like citizens who are visiting our museums, or like vulnerable groups like the student community who are coming and participating in our events, or our customers who are very, very valuable people for us, or the customers, or customers like a drivers who drives our trucks and buses like that. They are all called data subjects. Okay. So then we think about, is this a prohibited risk? So then we immediately we pass the judgment telling that you cannot use this at all. Why? This is legal. You cannot, because it's not like a recommendation. Oh, sorry, can you think? No, we say prohibit means prohibited. As per the law, our department will clearly tell them that you cannot use this because this is prohibited risk. It's illegal. Illegal, you cannot do. Otherwise, we invite sanctions. We invite huge fines, millions of euros of fines. So that is why we tell them. If it is high risk, we clearly tell them this is the high risk. You need to mitigate this as early as possible, or whether it's a medium risk or whether it's a low risk. So what data is used? So that's very important. We ask the questions whether the data is used is biased, representative, or legally sourced. And also, it's very important when a person asks, can you explain this algorithm? Because I have one patent in my name, where as a lead inventor for an AI algorithm called a delta term frequency and weighted inverse document frequency algorithm, which like we use this, whether it's a naive Bayesian algorithm, Bayesian algorithm, how to explain to a common man in a very simple words, because he needs to know the AI that is making his decisions. Okay, his decisions of recruitment or something or anything else should do it properly. Okay, the algorithm should be explained in a common man's language. So recommendations only are, so whether the AI is giving a recommendation or it is approving, or like a fully automated, okay, it will immediately automated and taking the decisions, everything. So who is accountable, whether the system or there is a named individual? Because if the doctors are using AI, for example, to reading our medical reports or like scannings and everything, if something goes wrong, whom do you make accountable? Can you make AI algorithm, put AI algorithm behind bars? Or can you put a AI robot behind bars? Okay, you need RA. Can AI sign in the medical report saying that, okay, this is AI generated, algorithm generated report, okay, which is tells that you have a cancer or something else. So can we stop it? Like immediately, if you don't want it, like for example, you might have seen long ago, my favorite hero, Rajinikanth sir, superstar, Rajinikanth sir has done Endiran movie. Okay, so you have seen that they go to a stage where they cannot kill the switch. Okay, so is it, or is there any escalation path, or if there is some incident happens, do we have an incident process? Okay, to handle this in a legal way, in a rightful way. So these are all the things I do on a day-to-day basis. And after this, immediately now it is 8 o'clock. Once, as soon as I finish this meeting, I have in 30 minutes, I start my job. So whatever I'm telling you, I need to keep on doing every day. So it's always important that we need to keep humans in the loop. So it is not that then don't use AI, do everything manually. So don't use, it is not, I'm not telling that it should be assisting you. Okay. And human cannot be rubber stamp. Oh, it's AI generated, let me put a rubber stamp. Okay, done. So humans are like just pretending to be, oh yeah, I understood my natural language, neural networks, natural languages, machine learning and everything. So it's all important, like human will decide. Humans remains accountable. So it is not that algorithm that decides. So it's always important, like it's very important. I want to end this, not much taking, my time is getting over. So it's very, because most of the time Ramesh Babu sir says like a meter manual. When I meet, someone has to tell me you need to stop talking, otherwise I keep on talking. It will be never ending. So that's what I will. I don't want to take much time. When Madam Sujit on the video, I understood I need to stop it. So I need to sell with one last line. So AI without human control is is clearly maybe very fast. If you don't use humans in between, human-centric, AI may be very fast. But always remember, human-centric AI is sustainable. That's what we are thinking. It's not we want fast solutions. We want sustainable solution because it's only the sustainability is the real innovation. Okay, that always you remember. That is the theme of this conference, like Industry 5.0, human-centric and sustainability. So human-centric is not like painful thing. Okay, it will not stop your innovation. It will not stop your progress. It will not stop. We do not want anything super fast. We want a sustainable, long lasting solution, which is our real goal, which is our real innovation. And I wish you all the good luck for your conference proceedings. And thank you so much for your opportunity. So thanks indeed. Bye.
Yeah, so thank you, Manuel sir. So very nice hearing tons of information in just half an hour of time. So, so we will just quickly just ask if there are any quick questions from the participants. Is that okay, sir? For you?
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Yeah. So, dear participants, you can just unmute or put it on the chat if you have any questions.
So I'm also walking and talking so I can complete my 10,000 steps in my home.
Any questions from anyone?
Sir, this is Vimla Devi. Sir,
Yeah.
since you are a professor, I just want to ask you this question. What is your advice to our students regarding what they have to learn with respect to AI? How they have to cope up with this AI? Because day-to-day new packages, since it's an open source library, new technologies, new things, new models they have to learn to get employment or to say to make really money to become lucrative in this field, what they have to learn.
Yeah, that's a really good question because I was a when I in until 2009 I was in the teaching, and before that also I was in industry, then teaching, and then again industry. Yes, one thing is like your ambition to make money. Then what happened? At the same time, we need to learn. Okay, so what I'm seeing is this compliance area is becoming very strict and strict when the innovation is because innovation is always ahead of the legal or a compliance area. For example, security, and there are so many cyber security regulations coming into picture. For example, it may be a legal regulation or it may be a standards. Okay, so that is one area where exactly you need this techno legal things. For example, you need to be a technologist first, engineer, and with a background of this. It's like a blend of both the things. So, which is also like, many people do not understand. Either they are fully technical or fully legal or something. That is one area. And second is, since it's an upcoming, like the prompt engineering, like, and then every day it's what I can see is it's like a very disruptive technologies coming in. We never know that until day before yesterday when Google has shown like one single prompt, they can create like a 3D ecosystem. And suddenly all these gaming like Betsons, DraftKings, there are so many gaming giants, like they fell within no time. Okay. And then if you see that the Anthropic, when they have shown that like a SaaS apocalypse, they started telling that the software as a solution is going down. And then they have beaten down so many Amazons and other things when it is. But at the same time, we start reacting too much. Okay, very quick reaction because we are all humans and we are very sensitive, emotional. We react in different way. We don't know that once we start using it, we know that when the chat GPT came, it's the same thing. Then once we start using that, I don't know how, but we see that we never, we see that we use it and then we see that, okay, there are so many hallucinations. We just like an expert using it. We clearly know that, okay, this is hallucinated. This is hallucinated. We cannot trust that immediately. So that is one more thing area like verifying AI results. That's another area. Is it a correct one? The references and everything. That is another big talk, actually. If it is a high stake, in the high stake output, what I'm saying, high stake outputs in the sense when a student submits an assignment, I do not know whether it's high stake or anything. But here, there are many things in picture because there is a finance involved, you are charging money and you are accountable like that. So, uh, so, it's very like,
Mute yourself, Sanjay.
yeah. So it's always like and then the algorithms, like the super fast algorithms, like it may be like various fundamental algorithms are there. We start with this Bayesian, naive Bayesian, and other algorithms, mathematical algorithm, and then the machine learning fundamentals. But as a student, what I can say is like when you are student, you learn the fundamentals properly, okay, your aptitude properly, because what you do at work is completely different. Okay, what I learned in my RV College of Engineering as a student. So what I am doing right now is completely different. Over a period of time, so we started accumulating based on the trends. Okay, so at the on the job, we keep on learning and learning, and every incident when we start solving a real life situation or a real project something, we learn a lot. We learn a lot because it's a real situation. It's like like teaching a heart, understanding a heart. Or my classmate is one of the top neurosurgeon, very, very close friend. And also he's a lieutenant colonel in Indian Army, Armed Medical Corps. So, so both of us used to sit and write our laboratory, the brain diagram. But he operates the brain. That's really different, actually. So, because when you operate, you have to take care of so many things, whether the patient has blood pressure, sugar, diabetes, cancer, this, that, everything, and whether he's a young person, old person, child, everything. So there's so many things come into picture at the practice because so as the ideal situation is different and the practical situation is different because there are so many a number of things coming. Oh my God, I need to take care of this, because there are different scenarios comes and we keep on solving different situations because every day I see so many incidents happening and we do these incident investigations every day. Every investigation and then finding out the forensic evidences. Okay, so and then providing it to the legal authorities because we have a strict guidelines to report to the authorities. Authorities means it's a government authority within 72 hours of the incident took place because there is a violation of a fundamental right of a person and he is under problem. For example, the addresses are leaked, the financial statements are leaked, his salary statements are leaked, his bank accounts may be misused because he trusted my company and given his data with us. But we leaked his data because of our poor quality management of the systems or the algorithms or whatever it is. So then we think, so how to report it, whether we have done this. So every incident will give different ideas and other things. So that makes you, so today when I was talking, I just speak from my mind, what I do every day. Okay, so it's not that, okay, today I was thinking, oh, okay, let's talk. Because I don't want to again enter a chat GPT prompt. Okay, today I am talking in Industry 5.0. Please give me a speech. I will read it in front of the people. No, because we want to give this explanation. So that is how the students will tell. First, see your attendance full, see your read your algorithm data structures or communications and Tenenbaum computer networks, or it is Ali Behrami's object-oriented system design, or whether it is Sattar Sahni's algorithms textbooks or anything. Run under that is your fundamentals, and then the fundamental is like foundation. It is not visible. If they have the strong foundations, so then they can construct the house, whether it's an Italian style or if they want a different style or whatever, if they want, they can do that at the work. Okay, they otherwise at the bachelor's and master's, it's very premature. They cannot become professional just like that. Okay, so they need that you can advise to your students, and then they start learning. There are professional courses because I have been when the AI came in picture because then immediately someone has to learn it. I have been deputed to the European Institute of Public Administration. That is where the European diplomats and everyone gets trained in Netherlands. Okay, and they have a collaboration with the Maastricht University. There is a city in Netherlands where I have been deputed there for a month's time and understand each and every articles, the clauses, read with this, that, and everything. So then we have put this under the lens and under the legal lens. so I can see that. Otherwise, so then we understand, okay, something new is upcoming. Then if there is any, and I keep going to Brussels. Brussels is the Europeans' capital city for the Union. Europe, it's the capital city of Belgium, but the European Parliament, European Court of Justice, everything is in Luxembourg, which is just to take a tram journey. You can go to Luxembourg, where the European court is there. European Parliament is in Brussels. We go and we lobby with the lawmakers, with the commissions who makes this law, who writes this law. We ask and understand their pictures, and that is how, in a professional journey, they keep on improving, and they won't become over. It's like over a period of time, they become a very matured professionals. So that's my advice. I hope I understood answered your question, or it may be too longer answer.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
So I hope there are no other questions on the chat. So as a closing note, sir, I would like to again really thank you for your such an inspiring, I mean, so many informations you really have given, and definitely our students and the participants over here will benefit out of this, because it's really the high time that we need to know how responsibly and ethically we have to use the AI in every aspect of the works what we do. So I really thank once again on behalf of all the organizers and our HOD sir. Really, I should thank him at this moment to give us such an opportunity to arrange such a platform. So thank you once again, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, please my regards to Ramesh Babu sir.
Definitely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. See you, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice day.